Everyone, hey, it's Nate with Outside Cleaners. I'm on Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Today I'm cleaning this old pressure-treated deck, which I'm standing on. This is an early February day. It's very raw. It's above freezing, but not by much. I'm gonna be using a different chemical than I normally use on this deck today. Reason being, in these cold temperatures, a lot of my chemicals lose their cleaning effectiveness. So sodium percarbonate, it's really kind of a dud at this temperature. I'm gonna clean this with a solution of sodium hydroxide, also called lye or caustic soda. It can be very dangerous to work with if you don't know what you're doing, so know what you're doing before you work with it, okay? I'm gonna walk you through the process just so you're aware of this option for cleaning a older pressure treated deck in cold temperatures. All right, so this is just a little job, little deck. I'm gonna be applying my cleaning solution with this 2-gallon pump sprayer from Ace Hardware. That's gonna be enough to do the whole deck. That's my sodium hydroxide powder. This is my measuring cup, quarter cup. My rule of thumb for these grungy decks is I'm gonna add a quarter cup of powder to 2 gallons of water. Important safety tip, you always add the powder to the water. Mixing of these creates a huge exothermic reaction. It gives off tons of heat. If you don't have enough water to absorb the heat of it, it'll blow up. Literally blow up. This stuff can blind you. This stuff can burn holes in your skin. So it's full safety gear, goggles, gloves, slickers, keeping your face away from it, the whole thing. But again, that's my rule of thumb, and that's a pretty strong mix. A quarter cup of powder to 2 gallons of water. Always the powder to the water so you have enough water to absorb the heat. Now, obviously, if you add too much powder, you're gonna run out of heat sink in the water, and it's still gonna create a nightmare. So don't wing this, think it through, plan accordingly. This deck is already wet because it rained this morning. But just the same, if it wasn't, I would wet it down, make sure all these surfaces are pretty well saturated with water before I do the next step. I'm gonna do this in sections, just out of habit. Typically, you don't wanna let any sort of cleaning solution dry on a deck before it's rinsed off. Nothing's drying today, of course, because it's cold and clammy, but I'm just gonna stick to my habit of doing it in sections. So what I'll do is I'll do like this area here, and then the next area over, and then the next, and so forth and so forth. And then I'll do the railings last. But for this video, I'm just gonna, that area here. It's real simple. I'm all pumped up in my pump sprayer. Just gonna, I mean, couldn't be any simpler. I am wearing gloves and goggles and all that stuff. That little area has sat for about 5-10 minutes. It hasn't dried. It has gotten a little darker. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but that's part of the chemical reaction. The sodium hydroxide does tend to turn wood surfaces darker. What I do is I've got a white tip here. That's a 40-degree fan tip. High volume, low pressure. I'm gonna go back and forth. And when I come to the end of my swipe, I'm gonna kind of flick the wand so it doesn't leave a hard stop. It's gonna sort of fade away. Let's see how this goes. All right, so it's getting there. Obviously, I gotta do a little touch up. Maybe after I do this area, I might reapply to some of these spots because I want the chemical to do all the work it possibly can. I don't want to just, go straight to, chiseling away with pressure. Don't do that. So I'm gonna finish cleaning this little square that I applied the solution to. I'll see what's left over, and then I'll probably reapply the chemical to those spots and hit them again. All right, so you get the idea. I'm halfway done, and I'll do the same thing for the remainder. Like I said, this wood is turned a little darker because of the cleaning solution. You know, I might end up putting some oxalic acid on this to brighten it up, but you get the idea. If the algae is giving you a hard time, apply more cleaning solution, let it do its thing. Don't just go to chiseling it with the power washer. Let the power washer rinse things, but if it's stuck, use the chemical more. Anyway, hope that's helpful to somebody. Bye.